wasn't totally wrong. I did say some correct things in that last upload, but still I was wrong enough that it needed to come down. Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. Let's talk about it. Hello my loves, welcome back to my channel. If you guys have been keeping up with my channel, with my platform, especially my community tab, then you will know that I wanted to talk about the healthcare reform bill, or the big beautiful bill that recently passed in law. I had centered myself greatly in that first video that I uploaded, and I realized that I was wrong because I'm not exactly in the same circumstances as somebody else who will be enrolling after the date of July 2026. I am going to be a part of grandfathering, so these grandfathering clause where I receive the aid that I've already been receiving because I have been enrolled prior to this new July 2026 implementation of the bill. The reason why I had started centering myself is because I am already at the federal loan cap, right? If you guys don't know, the federal loan caps are $150,000 for graduate, $200,000 for professional students. I am there, like, as of today. Damn. Like, I want to say, now that my loan and refund has been dispersed, I'm going to put it up on the screen, but I maybe have like a $3,000 wiggle room. Psych! Your girl is at the limit. So I was like, dang, come 2026, I'm not going to be able to take out any aid. I'm chopped, I'm screwed, it's cooked, it's done, it's over with, I need to give it up. I was scared. To be honest, I still am, because even with my financial aid advisor explaining to me that I am a part of these grandfathering clauses and that I should be okay, they also were not able to reassure me, they as in the entire financial aid department, they weren't able to fully reassure me that something else might not change, right? The fact that I was at one point not enrolled continuously, I have no clue if that's somehow going to come back around and bite me in the butt later, because honestly, I don't trust that this administration isn't going to change its mind on some wackadoo shit. Okay, the fact that this law is even in place, I ain't even gonna go there. So I just think that it would behoove me to still move as if, okay, I'm gonna have to take out private loans, because at the end of the day, once you hit those federal loan caps, you're gonna have to figure out a way to pay for school, and the most likely option is going to be a private loan with a high interest rate. Absolutely sucks, very predatory, not fair at all. My biggest attitude and advice, right, attitude for myself, advice for y'all, is to save money, bro. Just save up as much as you can. I would say getting you as close as possible to like 70K a year. Okay, like a full-time job, not just I work at, I don't know, Lululemon part-time. That's not gonna do it. That's not gonna do it. My goal for myself is to find a job that's gonna pay me at least like $35 to $36 an hour. I applied back to my original position prior to me entering medical school, so working for the federal government. Here it would be working for the local state government, so I've been doing that. And ultimately, what I'm really focusing on, outside of maybe finding a full-time job that my skill set qualifies me for, monetizing my craft, having an entrepreneurial spirit. Y'all think that I be putting on the skincare and doing all of this for funsies on camera? Okay, I need, by the way, sidebar, shameless plug. When I use like certain products, when I talk about certain things, please engage with that in the comments, right? Ask me questions about the products, ask me questions about my routine, not only the things that I'm talking about, but just the things that I'm doing in video, so that way it flags and signals to brands that I am a good person for collaboration. This is not me begging per se, I am just making you all aware of how my craft works, because content creating is an art. The edits, I do the recording, I have all this equipment, right? I do all of these things, and it is a expression of myself. It is something that I enjoy doing, it's something that I like doing, so I'm just sharing with you guys how it actually works. I know that it seems kind of ridiculous, this idea that I can just record myself and, you know, get paid lots of money, but it really is something that you consciously think about and try to incorporate into your videos, and I want to make sure that I'm doing so in an authentic and transparent way, since that is the vibe of my channel. When I say monetizing my craft in terms of my platform, it's more so you all organically supporting me and caring about what I do. If you guys don't legitimately care about skincare and like taking care of yourself while you're a stressed out student, let me know something else that you care about, right? Let me know, so that way I can think about ways to make it into a piece of art to deliver to you all for consumption and enjoyment. And that is something that you all can do, right? Maybe you're not into videography, cinematography, maybe you like to bake. I said this in the last upload. I'm so serious. If you make cakes, pies, cookies,
but wait, Patrick Star is on the move.
Start selling that, girl. Sell it, sell it, sell it. If you do hair, right? If you know how to do eyebrows, waxes, do something that can, again, generate you a constant amount and stream of money so you can save it up and put it into a high yield savings account. If you don't have a high yield savings account, this is an account that earns you money over time so long as you're putting coin into it. A good high yield savings account at the bare minimum is about a 4.5%, annual percentage yield. My account does that. I'll link it down below. But if you don't want to use my link for whatever reason, when you go shopping for these high yield savings accounts, please make sure that it's 4.5% or higher APY. So this is kind of similar to an IRA or a Roth or all of those other savings accounts that you would get at a full-time job. You get what I'm saying? It's like you either got to work full-time, right, at a good paying job with some good benefits, or you got to have an entrepreneurial spirit and monetize your craft and treat yourself like a full-time job, right? Like treat yourself in your entrepreneurial business as like a full-time job with your high yield savings account. Okay, the truth is, like, these loan caps, they just ain't enough, man. Using my school as an example, my school somehow believes for the cost of attendance, cost of living estimate, that rent should cost me no more in the year than about $1,400. Base rent in North Carolina is anywhere from $1,400 to $2,000. That's not including any utilities. So if the cost of living estimate is already low, you're already going to be underneath the amount that you need, even taking out the maximum amount of loans. You're going to hit that $150,000, $200,000 faster than you think. And back to what I was saying previously, no clue how it works, and the financial aid department had no clue how it works about taking time off, right? After July 2026, let's say you down bad. You got a lot going on and you said, I need some rest. I need some reprieve. As a girl who took an unintended LOA of more than a year plus, I'll be honest that this was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. However, it has also enabled me to see myself in so many different ways that I would have not otherwise if I just kept going within school, especially how mentally fragile I was. Even though, yes, I had a lot going on at the time of my first step 1 examination attempt, right? My grandmother had passed, my aunt had, fell into a stroke, and then she eventually passed. I had a lot going on, and then I failed step 1, and that kind of took me over the edge of my sanity. Even prior to that, I was just very sensitive. I was very, very sensitive, and I can't imagine having gone through that, and then boom, I enter clinical rotations, and I have shelf exams, and I have preceptors, and I gotta impress people in the OR, and I gotta do all these things. I probably would have burnt out a lot faster and potentially a lot more severe versus the slow, gradual collapse that I had during my LOA over time. I might not even have gotten diagnosed with ADHD, right? Because I probably would have been pushing myself to just stay on track with finishing out my 3rd year and not taking any type of pauses or interruptions. There's a number of things I just don't think that I would have gotten done had I not been in an LOA. Sorry, y'all, I had to see what's next on my skincare steps. I ain't got my glasses on. The fact that this is now just something that my peers may be hesitant to undergo, or my peers who are already in one having difficulty coming out of it because of these loan caps and all of these weird stipulations with financial aid as a professional student, it's very sad. And I just won't go into details of all of the drastic downhill domino effects of this bill. And instead, I just, again, want to encourage everyone to stay as informed as possible. Stay informed, speak to your financial aid officers and advisors. If you're not a student already, talk to the prospective schools, right? Talk to the schools that you're interested in. They should be putting out some type of statements. They should be putting out something to keep students in the loop. Hold these institutions accountable. They owe you something, right? If they're gonna have you in their program representing them and educating you, they have a burden of responsibility over you to at least communicate what's happening and as it affects you as a student. Now is not the time to just, well, let's just wait and see and let's believe in God. Yes, believe in God to also enable you to enact your free will and enact it by being on your P's and Q's. Don't be lackadaisical with this. Ask questions. And ultimately, right, I appreciated those of you who were questioning my content when you guys watch watch my original video. And I thought that this was the case. I thought that I appreciated that because that was a signal for me that I am not informed enough on this topic to present this information the way that I am. And that is why the video needed to come down. And this is also something that I am going to implore you to do with your other content creating phase. Again, this is a craft to be monetized. These people make money off of your support. They make money off of your engagement. So the very least that they could do is to be conscious and aware and have some type of community affiliation, right? As things affect them in the real world, I get it. A lot of content creators are just here for entertainment, fun, vibes, right? To take y'all's mind off of things. But if things are really going on in the world that are impacting them, that are hitting them, I think it is important for them to speak up, because ultimately I have how many videos on my platform? If you don't want to talk about all this serious stuff, you can just go watch me double fist smearing offs at Dreamville and kiki ha ha ha. You don't have to engage with this type of content, but it is there so that you know that I too am worried about these things, that I too care about these things, that I too am capable of having critical and conscious thought about things that are beyond just skincare and looking cute. And I just think that that's something for you to ask yourself when you are engaging with your favorite content creators, when you're leaving the comments, the likes, you're sharing the video, you're buying the products that they're suggesting, when you're doing all of that, when you are helping them to monetize their craft, ask yourself, is this a space where I feel enriched? Yes, my channel is called Z Chats because I be yapping and chatting, but I also want it to be relevant. I want it to be relevant. I want it to be relatable. I want it to be authentic, real, right? Like, I have so many goals for my platform that if I'm not hitting them, hold me accountable. And sometimes accountability looks like consequence. Accountability looks like removing yourself from a space. So all of that to say, I really appreciate you guys for keeping me on my P's and Q's about the information that I'm disseminating. Misinformation online can be very dangerous. You can cause all types of panic, because even though I'm thinking my platform is small, 1,000+ people is still a significant amount of people to talk to. Because imagine this is me at a conference giving like a talk, right? 1,000 people in a room, that's a lot. To be unaware, to be misinformed is to be dangerous, right? That is something dangerous for me to do. And I really wanted to come out with another video a bit shorter, trying to address where I had an error, address where I had a misunderstanding, and to just be transparent and honest about that. Because I just want this to be a space where all of us learn, including myself, that all of us learn, all of us grow, all of us have a good time. It's not always going to be serious and deep and dark. Because yeah, I think having an awareness of where I'm out of my depth is something that's going to be so crucial and key for me as a future creator in bigger spaces that I want to be in. So yeah, that's it. That's all. I don't want to yap too long. The next video that I'm going to be uploading is not actually a video, it's a live. It'll be the live segment that I do on Sunday. I'm going to go over our hardest med school courses. I'm also going to do a little Q&A if you guys have questions. I'm only going to be on live for like an hour long though, just PSA. That will be on Sunday. The post will probably go out Monday, right, of the live summary. And then I will upload either on Wednesday or Thursday just a life update, because I did move. I know that it looks like I'm in my same apartment because it's in the same complex. I just moved to a new unit because it was cheaper, all right? $200 a month off makes all the difference. I moved to a new unit and I just want to talk to you guys about that, talk to y'all about the process of moving, because oh my God, it sucked. Especially because I was moving and I was under the impression that somebody was going to be helping me, and then he didn't actually help me, and this is why he needed to get the hell up out my life. So I have some love life, friendship updates, low-key some tea. I cut off one of my friends that I've been friends with for a minute, was a mutual of mine, everything like that. We had so much in common. I cannot stand that woman. She's done, she's cooked. So I want to tell y'all about that. And I just want to have a good little chitty chat. I feel like I haven't just talked to y'all. I haven't just like come out and ran my mouth and just treated y'all like we're on a FaceTime. I feel like I have been coming out with a lot of professional, legal, here's what's happening, here's what's going on, and I don't like that. I don't want to keep doing that. So yeah, see y'all Sunday. If you're gonna join in on the live, please do. Please stop by, at least say hello. Then I will see y'all in the comment section of my upload of what has been going on in Z's life from a romantic adulting aspect, because y'all, I swear I did not read the fine print for my late 20s. I must not have. Okay, bye.